The Cinderella run of the 2023 Miami Heat continues as following last night's win over the Boston Celtics, the 8th seeded Miami Heat are headed to their 7th NBA Finals appearance in franchise history. While things could have gone smoother for the Heat, they still did a great job of fighting and making the changes they needed to, and today I want to break down and go over how the Heat ended up here as the 2023 Eastern Conference champs. Also, if you guys enjoy the video, then make sure to give it a like as it helps out a lot, and if you enjoy the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. So last night, the Miami Heat got a huge Game 7 victory over the Celtics in Boston, winning by a score of 103-84. The Celtics' struggles from 3 in the first, going 0 for 10, really opened the door for the Heat to grab an early lead, despite shooting 2 for 7 themselves in the first from 3. The fourth quarter run the Heat went on after the Celtics cut the lead to 7 with 51 seconds remaining in the third really stuck out to me, and I want to break down that as well as the rest of the game footage right now. Miami did a great job of switching in last night's game despite this being a make, but Bam takes Brown off the stagger and the Celtics flow right into Smart screening to get Strus to switch, and then Brown goes to work and gets this bucket. The Celtics countered Miami's switching by either throwing movement or slips at them, as right here Derek White attempts to screen but is unable to get the screen for Smart to go. Then Brown comes up looking as if he'll be the screen setter before slipping right between Vincent and Martin, then catching the pass and scoring. Miami started finding their rhythm on offense as you have Jimmy Butler putting Robert Williams into action, and the Celtics switch, but they're also showing help, and then he has the drive and kick to Strus. Butler gets the Robert Williams matchup again, and with Derek White showing early help, he gets the quick kick to Strus for 3. Boston's poor shooting was their downfall in terms of losing last night's game in my eyes. However, they still did a great job of moving the ball in the second quarter to generate good looks. Miami continued to make Boston pay for the looks that they gave them, as right here you have Lowry in the pick and roll and Horford in the drop, so he goes right into the pull-up. Boston decided to flip the matchups as you have Horford on Lowry, then Boston switches everything, and you have a great backdoor cut from Robinson and a beautiful pass from Lowry. Despite his early injury kind of weighing down his play, Tatum kept wanting to get the matchup versus Duncan Robinson and make him pay, like he did here. Right here, the Heat have Bam screen for Jimmy and the Celtics switch, then Miami goes right into Bam in the post. Bam's then able to kick the ball out, Miami has the extra pass to the corner, and then they get the 3. On top of Miami switching, they were also working to stunt and take the paint away from Boston, and this right here is a result of that. This feels like one of the few times I'm able to compliment Boston's play from last night, as right here you have a good design, with Miami switching everything, and Vincent ends up switching on Horford, and the help comes over, and he's able to kick it to Smart for 3. In my previous video, I talked about how the drives and the quick decisions from Tatum were such a huge key for Boston coming back from down 3-0 to tie it. However, despite Tatum's quick decisions and drives, or whatever the Celtics threw at Miami, Jimmy Butler just went to work at them and responded to everything. To end the first half, this was a great example of Miami switching on defense, as you have Tatum and the Celtics who were unable to exploit the matchups, and the Heat were showing bodies early. Right here in the second half, you have the double pick and roll from Miami with the empty side. Horford's back in a drop, and Gabe Vincent just goes to the rim for the lay-in. Right here, Gabe Vincent goes to the pass and cut with Bam, and Smart stunts, then Butler's able to cut and finish at the rim. This was great switching from Boston, and this was one of the few times that Robert Williams made Jimmy Butler pay. As a result of that, Miami looked to have Jimmy attack Derek White instead. They get the off-ball switch and then go to the post, and Boston showing help. Then there's the drive and kick to the open Caleb Martin. The in-between plays were simply put just falling for Miami last night. As you can see, Bam is a bit indecisive of if they're going to cut or not. Then it kind of flows into a Jimmy pick and roll, and Jimmy ends up running with the play and hitting this. The Heat end up going with the Bam and Jimmy pick and roll, and they see the switch, and Bam goes right into the post and goes right to work versus Williams. This was an important shot for Jimmy Butler. As you can see, Boston was switching on everything, and Jimmy finds that Robert Williams matchup and hits this. We saw flashes of great basketball from Boston on offense as the movement and tempo looked great here, but their defense and their inconsistency on offense just really weighed them down. This is another great example of the in-between plays or just wild shots falling for Miami last night. This was a great design by Miami as they started to use Boston's aggression versus Jimmy against them. Butler screens for Robinson and Smart stays attached, then Robinson curls to the rim and gets the finish. Even though the game was kind of already over at this point, I still want to highlight this because this felt like the dagger as you have the good designs by Miami out of the timeout. Butler screens for Robinson and Smart switches out. Then Butler slips to the rim and cuts for the slam. So this is quite the Cinderella run from the Heat here, as I had them getting bounced in the first round, honestly, and this is not a team that I expect to be the second A seed to ever reach the NBA Finals. The Heat have a ton of talent on their roster, and I actually bet on them to win the Eastern Conference last season, so they shouldn't be slept on. However, I simply can't see them beating the Nuggets, as this just feels like it's the Nuggets year. But, like I said, I never imagined the Heat being in this position would even happen, or even making it out of the first round, so I can't put anything against them. I have the Nuggets winning the 2023 NBA Finals and potentially even sweeping the Heat, but we'll see how wrong or right I am when the series starts on Thursday night. I want to know what you guys think about this Heat team, who will win the 2023 NBA Finals, or anything we talked about in the video down below in the comment section. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you like the video though, then please give it a like because it helps out a lot. And if you like the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you stay up to date with all the future content on my channel. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SCJ and I am out. Peace.